All right, awesome. All right, we mentioned we did physical health already, so now we're going to move on to mental health, or mind. And so all the theme of each section here is to elevate. We're making each of these areas better. So when we're talking about mind, or this section here, really there's three things that I take into consideration when I'm scoring my mind and getting my mind right, as Cheryl's favorite saying. Get your mind right. So what do we mean by that?
It is.
Well, who here has heard of something called iOS? Who has an iPhone?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
What does iOS stand for?
It's software.
I'm glad that people don't know that.
Independent
operating
system. Yeah, independent operating system.
It's iPhone operating system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there's also, who's a Mac? Oh, look at this.
Of course, I'm Mac.
What does that run on? What's the operating system? Mac OS.
Yeah, Mac OS, of course.
Now, who's a Windows person? Okay.
Never.
Now, Windows people run off of mostly Windows 95 is what the most popular. Windows. Now, I have a business partner that often has iOS issues, or Mac OS issues. And Cheryl,
No.
let people know why you have iOS issues.
Okay, listen, the problem is that once I learn how to do something, I do not want to upgrade or update or up whatever it's called. Okay, I don't want to do that, and so I don't do that. And so I'm still operating a few years back. I didn't have enough software. I didn't have a cell phone from a few years back that Michelle always tells me, Cheryl, have you upgraded your cell phone yet? No, not yet.
But not only does she not update the cell phone, she doesn't operate the operating system.
Well, because I know how to use the one I have, and I don't like it when it changes it all around and I have to relearn everything.
Now, most people feel about change in life.
Well, they don't really love it.
I embrace it.
Oh, no.
Salt and pepper. No.
So I thought about it, I'm like, well, wait a second, the iPhone's running off of something, we gotta be running off of something. So I came up with this concept called myOS. This is my operating system between my two ears. And it needs to be updated all the time. Currently I'm running, so instead of iPhone 14 or whatever we're at now,
I wouldn't know.
I'm running fall 2023. This is my version, fall. Now, there's a new version coming out. It's fall 2024. So I'm working on that right now. And I'm deciding, well, what upgrades do I want to have? So we'll kind of go through what all the things are included in your operating system. And we're doing this another beach retreat. And we're going to be doing a full immersion into our operating system.
That's part of the CEO package that we'll be offering.
Cheryl and I are also big into meditation. We're trying to calm the mind and get centered.
Amen.
And then Linda, personal growth. Personal growth is a big part of it. So let's spend some time today focusing on the part of the myOS system, which is this success cycle. Wait, here. Okay, so what did I got, Jill? Where's Jill?
Right there.
Jill, you mind? I think I do. I'm gonna use Jill as an example. So.
As long as it's not something I told you in conference.
You better go back and ask her.
So we talked about
Kidding, I'm kidding.
in the health coaching program, we talked a lot about certainty, leading with certainty. Okay, so we always want to, first of all, let's talk about potential. So, what is your potential income at Youngevity?
Unlimited.
Okay, there's at no point is Steve going to stop your paycheck because you're making too much money. We're going to keep on going. So do we all agree that the potential here is unlimited?
Right. Yes.
So how many people here are living up to their potential?
No.
Now, why is that?
Since we had an upgrade.
It's because you're not certain about something. If you were certain about something, you would take massive action, you'd get awesome results, you become more certain, you tap into more of your potential, you take more action, you get better results, and it would keep on going around and around. And you'd make gazillions of dollars. But what's happening is, people are not certain. They don't believe. And we had a conversation, I had a conversation with Jill. She's like, Jill's like, I'm the best there is at products. I know everything about products. I can help clients like nobody else in this company.
I didn't say exactly that.
She's pretty cocky about it.
Take ownership, that.
But when it comes to the business, so people ask, how do I fix this certainty thing if that's the most important part? Well, what we all do is we check back to our results. And Jill and everybody else, just single out Jill, focuses on either current results
Boo.
or past results.
Really boo.
Yeah, well, I was never good. Back in high school, I wasn't that good. So I can't make a lot of money. So what we're gonna teach you today is how to hijack this, because there's 3 different types of results you could focus on. You could focus on your past results, your present paycheck, or this thing called perfect. Now, again, I love the word perfect because perfect is what's perfect for you. So, everyone's gonna have a different moment, whatever that story is for you. So, when you have this perfect story and this vision board and these I am statements that we're gonna go over here, when you start talking about your certainty, well, of course I'm certain, because I go back and I'm looking at this story, not these 2 stories. So, I'm not saying any of this is easy. The things we're gonna go over right now are deep, but Cheryl's an unbelievable trainer and is going to enlighten us all on exactly how to do this.
And of course, I like steps. So the very first thing that we want to do is we want some I am statements. So first of all, I have a quick question. Does everybody know what they want? Because you have to know what you want, or I can promise you will never get it. Okay, so if you don't even know what it is, and I think that this has been a huge challenge for a lot of people. It was for me too. Like, Cheryl, what do you want? Well, I don't know. I have a wonderful life. I have a great husband. I have 2 fantastic kids. Like, what do I want? Really? What are you even talking about? So I think that you have to really be clear on what it is.
Well, Michelle's big saying is live the life you want.
That's right.
The $1 million question is,
Yeah.
what's the life you want to live?
Yeah, what is it? What is the perfect life that you want, right? And so once you have that in your mind, then we need some I am statements. And I think we're just gonna go with, so I am grateful, I am happy, I am excited, I am strong, I am healthy, I am in fantastic shape, I am wealthy, all of that really does sound good. Sure. Yeah, those are all great.
Now, keep in mind, this may or may not be true. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that's your reality right now. That does not, it has literally nothing to do with it. Right? It's just what you want in the future, right? It's your perfect story that you are going to manifest, right? So that's what we're talking about right now. So I am a 5-star executive with Longevity, and then Paul is actually building a new home in Sarasota.
I wasn't, but all of a sudden I
Well,
am.
he is now. And I happen to have a husband that's the senator from Virginia.
All right, that's right.
Right? Okay. Yeah. Right?
Yes.
Okay,
I
so,
heard Linda gave him a little schooling this
yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was so good. And it's so true. But people don't even realize, none of us do. We don't realize that it's like, well, what do you, really? No, I'm not. Well, what do you mean, no, I'm not? Of course you are.
Doing this.
Right,
Doing all of
exactly.
this. So
And
you have to know that you are
have to
before you get there.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I like to wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, well, good morning, First Lady.
Oh,
Yes.
Jonathan would kill me if he knew I was doing that.
And let me tell you, she doesn't stop there.
Good morning, Senator. Yeah, well, yeah.
Every morning.
I'm talking about and thinking about and feeling
Yes.
what it's like
Yeah.
when we go on a trip on Air Force One.
That's right.
What?
Yes.
Why I not?
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, so let's keep going. Because this is really my exciting thing. Go ahead. Do you want to say something?
Keep rolling,
I
keep
can keep going. Okay.
Vision board.
No, but yeah, exactly. So, and that's what the whole vision board thing is, right? Okay, so we're starting with the I am, and I might read a little bit of this because I think it's so important to get like the real meaning. So, the I am part is really the start. But now we want to move from the world of the intellect, I am, to more of a spiritual understanding. So to understand something spiritually, you actually really, am I in the wrong place? You really need to be able to feel it, right? So it's all about the feeling that you have. This is one of my favorite sayings here. Make your future dream, now this is kind of deep, so make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Does that just like give you goosebumps? I was like so excited when I saw that. I was all, okay, let me read it again because I didn't really understand it. But it is like so cool because the dream is the wish, and you have to assume the feeling. And you guys, actually, I have to tell you this little thing. So a long time ago, like maybe 17 years ago. No, not that long. It was, you were 3, Angelica and Justice were 3. And I had just like decided, you know what, I'm gonna go back and do some stuff. And so I wrote out a whole story. I had someone helping me. I didn't know any of this. I had no idea what we were doing. I said, you don't know what you're talking about. And he said, but what if it works? And so I did, and I wrote out this whole story, and the feeling part of it was one of the most important parts because you have to feel with every single sense that you have. What's going on around you? What do you smell? What do you see? What do you hear? The birds sing. Like, it was crazy. But I wrote it all out, and then I said it every morning and every night like it had already happened with great gusto. And
So what was the income you're going to what were the 2 numbers?
okay, well, I was going from, this is a long time, so I was going from 10 to 56. Okay? And I said, there is no way. Right? And I'm like, but I don't care. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm not even going to, I'm never going to let that come into my mind. I'm going to read this every day and get excited. And I'd like be walking around and jumping around. And it was the weirdest thing probably I had ever done up to that point. Because now I do other weird things, but like I did in the cold plunge. But the whole point is, and I had a date set. And it was October, and I said, June 6th, the next year.
My birthday.
June 6th, see? I knew it was Rod's birthday, and I said June 6th. I need a present. I need a present on Rod's birthday. But you guys, I swear to you that it happened. And guess what's so weird? I had nothing to do with it.
Of course.
I had nothing to do with it. All I did is I said it, the whole universe, and I'm not kidding you that the whole universe had to move. Everyone had to be involved. And I didn't tell anyone. I didn't do anything. Steve didn't know. Steve had no idea. Tom had no idea what I was saying and what I was doing, but I literally manifested that in my paycheck. So I wish I would have said more. Paul and I were just saying that today, and that's exactly what the chicken soup for the soul said. He said $1 million. Oh, Bob Proctor. $1 million, that's what he wanted. And then, no, Mark Victor Hansen. And he said, $1 million, that's what I need, that's what I want, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, he looked at it every day, had a check up on his, blown up on his wall. He lay down, oh, look at it. Wake up, look at it. And he said, the very first time with Chicken Soup for the Soul, his very first amount that they gave him for the book was a check for $1 million. And then he said, why didn't I put 10?
Well, what did Jim Carrey put?
Well, Jim Carrey put 10.
Carrey.
And he carried it around in his wallet for like how long? 15 years or whatever, years and years and years and years and years. And then all of a sudden he gets this fantastic show, Dumb and Dumber.
Right.
And they wrote him a check for $10 million.
Yep.
Stop! Get your money Like seriously, it has to be whatever you want, you're gonna get it. And whatever you manifest in this way, you will get it. So please don't sell yourself short just because you think you can't. You have to imagine, right? Okay, so the greatest definition of success. If you advance confidently, okay, this is like so cool.
This is a little bit different than what you just described. Because what this part is saying here is that you actually have to do something. You need to advance in a certain.
Oh, well, wait, sorry, I continue to work and do all, you have to continue to do all you can. But I didn't do like what had to happen. I could just do what I could do, which is what we have to do,
Yes.
right? You can't just sit on the couch. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, that doesn't work that way.
So you have to continue to do all that you can do, but then the universe, I don't even know how to explain it. I wish I could really explain it like eloquently to get people to move in the direction of
Well,
doing
this
it.
does a really good job.
Okay, well then let's read it. If you advance confidently in the direction of your own dreams and endeavor to live the life which you have imagined, you will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Okay, so the thing I like most is imagined. Your imagination is yours. You get to imagine whatever you want.
What he's saying here is that you're moving in a direction and your dreams are actually coming towards you too.
Yeah.
So you're both gonna meet in the middle.
Yeah, so they'll chase after you. You won't have to chase after them. Your dreams will chase after you.
Yep, so your dreams will chase after you. If you place yourself, and place your imagination on what you really would like and you start to attract and begin to feel it as if it already was a reality.
And Steve talked about someone who did that. Do you remember? Who did that? Who has the best imagination in the world?
Marilu Henner.
Disney.
Walt Disney.
Can you imagine standing up to your whatever in mud and being like, I can imagine Disney. I mean, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard of. I was like, how on earth? But he did it and he built it. Right? It's just fascinating to me.
Now, how did this screen become reality? Where did it start?
Yeah.
Angela,
Oh,
a thought. We can go through this entire room. There ain't anything in this universe that wasn't first a thought.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Speaking.
All right. So, now, like I said, when I wrote that paper out, you have to feel it, right? You have to get everything involved with your feelings. So that which you feel yourself to be, you are. And you are given that which you are. Right?
So when you say which you feel yourself to be, which I'm healthy, and you're given that which you are. So now I'm given health because of
Yes,
me making who I am a healthy person.
exactly. Okay, so here's a saying that we can all have, or here is the future that we can all think of. I am a 5-star executive with Young Jerry. Now, the most fascinating thing to me is your subconscious, right? And I kind of had an epiphany about the subconscious. And I think I knew it before, years ago, but I just kind of forgot it. Life goes on, you get busy, whatever. And so coming back to this has really been amazing. But does everyone know what it feels like to be a 5-star executive?
Can you imagine it?
You have to be able to imagine it, okay?
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to imagine. I'm just gonna use this because I think it's funny. I really do think this is funny. Because I wanted to imagine being the First Lady of the United States,
Yeah.
right? So, but I didn't know anything about that, and I tried to call Melania and she didn't answer. So I found a documentary. That's what I did. I found a documentary and I found out all about everything that goes on, what they get. Now I know you get a cook and I know they cook you whatever you want. I know you get guys to run with you and guys to work out with you because they're protecting you,
Yep.
right? So they do that, and I know that you get to fly places on your own airplane, which, well, wouldn't that be fantastic? I mean, who doesn't want to have an airplane of health coaches going to Europe,
There you go.
right?
I'm with you.
Okay, so I didn't know, so I had to go and do a bunch of research and find out, and then come up with really the feelings of how I would feel in that situation.
Yeah.
You have to do it, because if you can't sit down, close your eyes, and literally have those feelings, then there's no way, and that's imagination, right? Then there's no way that you can manifest.
So, when I was, I think, 22 maybe, I was with a different company with Dr. Wald, getting up the Dead Doctors Alive cassette. This exact thing happened to me. So I was in your seat. I went to the Massachusetts, actually the owner's house of the company.
Yeah.
And I've never been in a $22 million mansion before. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I got to be in it. Like, and then I remember the first time I drove a BMW. Like, it's the ultimate, they call it the ultimate driving machine for a reason. It's the greatest feeling in the world driving, especially if you got the M series. It is awesome. But you don't know what it feels like until you get in it.
Yeah.
I tell people, get in the car you want to drive. Take a tour. Like, I love open houses. I love going to look at homes that are
Yeah.
walk through them, you know, and you just get ideas. And and this is why I told Cheryl we have to do it at your house, because people don't need to experience what it's like to have this and be out in the pool and have, you know, what does an $800,000 pool look like? We're about to find out this afternoon.
Right.
Okay.
You know, so, you know, it's just a whole different feeling when you get immersed into it.
Yeah.
And that's what, you know, by watching a documentary, you can do it. There's a whole bunch of ways to get immersed like that. Or, like you said this morning, talk to someone who's already there.
Yeah, somebody who's there and asking. You can see on, like I see Ariaza on social media. He can give you a good idea, right? He can give you a good idea of what it feels like to be a 5-star young gentleman, right? Or and even higher, a black diamond or an ambassador. Okay, so let's get back to the subconscious. So every feeling that you have makes a subconscious impression up on your body and on your awareness. Okay, so every single feeling that you have. Now, we're gonna get back to, I was talking about what I think is so interesting about the subconscious. So your subconscious mind cannot differentiate between reality and imagination.
Right. Right.
That is the most fascinating, okay, if we all really believe that, like we're all saying, yeah, and I think I forgot it, but if we all really believe that, we would literally get to imagining right away.
Yeah, right.
Because now your conscious mind is doing all sorts of things like, oh, Julie back in 4th grade told me that I can't do it, so I can't. Right? So and remember all these wacko things. This happened to me with needles. Like, I hate needles. I hate them. And last night or the night before, whatever, I'm standing there and I'm telling Paul a story, because we always talk about different stories. So when I was in 1st grade, I'm gonna do it really fast. When I was in 1st grade, I had this disease from Africa. Some little gal, myself in Idaho, had a disease from Africa. The doctor's like, oh my gosh, well, did you travel to Africa? So all this stuff happened. And what would happen every time my heart beat, my face would swell up.
Oh.
Oh yeah. I never thought spider bite, mosquito bite, because if I get a mosquito bite, then my face does swell. But no one knew what it was. So they're like, yeah, she has to go to the hospital. So in I go. And then I was left alone. So these are all the feelings that I've completely forgotten. I had no idea, but I'm telling the story. So I start getting like all agitated. I'm like kind of like, oh, no, this is what happened, Paul. Oh, and then I'm telling him this, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So then I'm left alone all night because the parents couldn't stay there. So then I'm alone, and I'm crying, and I'm alone. I don't want to be alone. I'm 6 years old. So, and then I have to get an IV in my hand. Okay, I did not want the IV in my hand, but we got it done. That was fine. So about 2 or 3 nights after, I was asleep one night, and I woke up the next morning, and instead of the IV going in, blood was coming out. So now we have a real problem. So what they decided to do is put the IV in my foot. Oh, in the top of my foot.
Ouch.
And let me tell you, it took 10 people to hold me down. My mom passed out. She had, and I'm screaming, and I start telling Paul, and I'm like tense, and I'm like, and then they shoved it in and it didn't work. And I'm just like, and all of these emotions and feelings, I remember exactly what happened, how many people, I remember everything about it. And that was years ago, but I do totally remember it. And I'm like, oh, well, no, I'm right, needles.
This is a great story because here's something that she had an intense feeling
Dramatic, yeah.
and it made a huge impression on her subconscious mind. And
I didn't
even
even
without
know.
consciously thinking about it, she still hates needles to this day. And it wasn't until the other night we figured out why.
Yeah, so whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, it is because of what's happened in your past and you are letting it affect you today. You're letting it hold you back.
But the
You may
key
not
is
know.
that you
Become
had
what?
so much feeling behind that.
Oh, feeling, I had everything. I could smell the hospital. I know the doctors, I mean, everything.
Now, I'm sure every single person in this room can remember where they were, who they were with, what was going on September 11th.
Yep, 9/11.
Yes.
I was with Dr. Wallach. in
Now, if you
Vegas.
can tell me what's going on September 10th.
Oh, I was with Dr. Wallach.
September 12th was my daughter's birthday, so I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not like September 11th. You know, everyone remembers that one day because it was so,
Yeah.
there was so much feeling and emotion behind that.
Right.
You gotta have, without the emotion, it just won't stick.
So here, and this is what, so your subconscious mind rules your life.
Mm-hmm.
And we just have to become aware of that. So 90% of everything that you do is done as a result of your subconscious mind. You may not even know why, just like the whole needle problem. So, but here's the beauty in the whole thing. Like, this is so fantastic to me. Like, I cannot even believe that God did this for us, right? When your subconscious mind gets programmed, when we program it, however we want, it goes ahead and responds to whatever it is your conscious mind has placed into it. So, oh my gosh, what a blessing. We should be grateful for that because we get to decide what we place in there.
Not only that, but a lot of people I talk to, they're reading these mind statements and they're kind of feeling it, not as much as they should, but they're like, this is stupid. Because your conscious mind is going to say, I am not a 5-star.
Right.
So your conscious mind is going to fight it. But it doesn't matter because the subconscious mind is what we're worried about. And if we keep on programming the subconscious mind, it is going to become automatic. And things are going to start happening, not because your conscious mind is convinced of it, but because your subconscious mind is not convinced of it.
And remember, the feeling part I think is so important. Before we move on, I just wanted to say, I love this saying, a change of feeling is a change of destiny.
Really?
Oh, is that the next one? I can't believe I just did that. That's fantastic. Maybe I'll put that out there. Okay, so what we want to do is practice putting into your subconscious mind the assumption of the feeling of what it is that you would like to attract into your life as if it already existed. Right? That's so important. And I'm going to say it's so important. And at the start, it's so incredibly hard. And that's okay. Just know it's hard. Of course it's hard. Everything's hard. It's hard to be poor. It's hard to, it's hard to struggle. It's hard. And you get to pick your hard.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that this is one of the things that we can pick to be our hard. Right?
It's not hard, it's just new.
What?
I always say it's not hard, it's just new.
That's right.
There you go.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful. All right. Go ahead, Paul. Yeah, I know.
You can tell Cheryl's had some passion. Different other quotes.
I know.
To me, and we've been arguing about this for days now, which one of these quotes is better than the other? And I know they're all great. But to me, this is it. And just because I came up here and read this one quote, you could have got it. So if the assumption about what you would like to be is persistent, is persistent until it becomes your dominant feeling. And I believe this is what is the hang up with 99% of people. They read the I am statement, they kind of feel it, but it isn't persistent until it becomes your dominant feeling. That's all you can feel. You can only feel being a 5-star. There is no other feeling. It isn't like, oh, I feel like a 5-star today, and then tomorrow something bad happens, and I feel like a great associate again. Yes.
You know, I love this because when you, there's 2 times that I can vividly remember, I wanted this position at Harvard University. I've never done it before, but I wanted this position. And I found myself just thinking about it. And when I got the job, the guy said he was the director of the computing center. He says, I don't know why I'm hiring you, but I am. And I thought that was just so awesome because when you, and it just goes to show when you just really want something and you think about like, I wanted this dude. Loved him, saw him walking down
Oh
the
my
street.
God.
And I just started imagining him in all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
And I got him.
Oh,
All
dear.
kinds of ways.
And it works.
Yes, it can.
That's awesome. So it's got
All right.
it's persistent until it becomes your dominant feeling. The attainment of your ideal is absolutely inevitable. It's guaranteed to happen.
I love that though, that when you say it's gotta be your dominant feeling.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, I'm a multitasking thinker.
Sure.
And I say I want something, but I'm not completely focused on it. It's not my dominant feeling. But to bring that to like I'm not gonna say I never heard it, but they'll just say you need to think about it. But saying it's your dominant feeling is something completely different.
Yeah.
That's not the same as just thinking about something, but it needs to dominate your, and that's all, and you said, and that's all you can think about. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Because then you become, that's who you are.
And
Yeah.
you said, write one thing on an index card and on the other side, and that's your dominant feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So has anybody here seen the movie or the documentary The Secret?
Yeah. Yes. Oh,
Now there's this one scene in The Secret. I think they use grass, right? Where it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
grow, it's gonna grow, and it starts growing.
Not yet, and then tiny,
And then there's a little dot.
and down it
And you can
goes.
see the grass proceeding. So a lot of us, and let me do that, Cheryl and I included, we take 2 steps forward, got all the great feelings, great dominant thoughts, and then we take a step back.
yeah.
Because something happens, we start doubting.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, and I also request, I actually have a quick exercise that would, I think, prove your point about your mind cannot tell, the subconscious cannot tell the difference between the real and the imagined. I like to do it very quick. I think it would be very helpful to everyone.
Yeah,
Good?
sure, yeah.
Okay, everyone, close your eyes.
Okay.
Pretend you're going all the way to the top of a 100-story skyscraper, all right? You're going to the roof, now you're walking to the edge of that skyscraper. There's a 6-foot plank. Walk on that plank. Go to the end of that plank, look all the way down. Do that now for a few seconds. Okay? Now, turn around, go back on the plank, and you get off the plank and sit down on the chair. Now open your eyes. How did it feel when you were looking down on that plank?
I don't like that.
Yeah, I know, scary.
But where were you all this time?
Here,
Sitting right there.
Exactly. You can't tell the difference.
But
Yeah.
you could feel, but you.
You could feel
I
it.
did, I love
You
that.
felt it.
That was a nauseous.
that's it.
I did too.
Yeah, I've done that like in virtual reality. It's I was like, I'm not going out
Yeah,
there.
no,
And it's like virtual reality, and I'm like, whoa, like it's as if you were
Yeah.
actually there.
That's
And I'm
exactly
scared.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I have
So-
that emotion.
It's a neuroscience. He does brain
Yeah.
surgery, and he said, to your point, that the brain doesn't know. So you can fake laughing. Is when he
Yeah.
operates on people. He's like, if he can get them to start laughing or thinking about laughing, he said it may be the fakest laugh ever.
Yeah.
He said your brain doesn't know it, so you can do it, and your body will change. And he does it before people go into surgery.
Anatomy of an illness. There's
Yeah.
a book about it.
So I don't, for me, I don't really necessarily like fake it till you make it. What I do like is act as if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Face it.
Act as if.
Yeah.
Act, you know, I'm there. So,
Yeah, I love that.
so ask yourself, what does it feel like to be a 5-star executive in longevity? You have to, and then we talked about this morning, and everybody does it a little bit different way, but you did a great job of being first lady, where you can sit and close your eyes in a quiet environment
Yeah.
and start visualizing.
Oh,
You know, and doing that, so in the new health coaching course, it's module 5. Cheryl and I, you know, we want everyone to write a story out. As part of your homework assignment here is to write out your perfect story. So we wanted to write a story for the coaches, just to give them kind of like an idea of what to write. And I thought we were writing something very generic, because we just wanted to give them an example. So we wrote this, and we did it in like 10 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, now we're done with notes, let's go shoot it. So we shoot it, and Cheryl's reading this paragraph.
Oh,
Hey, has everybody seen this video?
it's in the health coaching program.
She completely loses it.
When I start crying, I can't even read.
Yeah, I see it.
She can't even get through it.
Yeah.
You can see the emotion behind that, and she didn't even know it was there. Did you?
No. I said, oh, this will be easy, I'll just read it real quick.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, oh. And I'm like, I have no idea, and I'm like, I do not know what's going on.
Right.
That's exactly what I said, I'm like, I don't think I can finish this. Like, I don't think I can.
It was difficult, but I let you work right through that.
It was amazing, that was so crazy.
Yeah.
Module
So
6 what?
what's that?
Module 6 what?
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's the one where it's visual. We have one about visualization.
Yeah, visualization, yeah.
So your homework is to create the I-am statements, write out that perfect story, create a vision board based on the story, and then add the feeling to it.
Yes, add the feeling to it, and then, is this our last slide?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys one more thing to do, and I thought this was super, super important, is that, so that when your subconscious is at work the most, is when you go to sleep at night, right?
Yeah.
Now think about when you lay down at night, what it is you think about. Because before you go to sleep, you think about what is going on in your mind. And I wanted to really read, so this is in, actually it's in Job, where you, like as you go to sleep and as you are sleeping, that's when everything happens. That's when God can construct whatever it is that you put in your mind right before you go to sleep. So people think about, oh, I failed at that today. Oh, I made someone feel bad. Oh my gosh, I was screeching at that slow driver.
I didn't get that.
Oh my gosh,
I didn't get this stuff.
yeah, I didn't, yeah, my to-do list is still there. I still have this to do, and I just got in an argument with my husband, or my kids, or whatever it is. So, what happens when you go to sleep? That's what happens, that's what your subconscious, oh, well, the subconscious mind has no idea about anything other than what you put in it, so it's saying, oh, I see that she's got quite a few troubles. I guess she needs some more, she wants more, because that's what she's telling me, and that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And so I want to give you guys as a homework assignment to please, when you lay down at night, I want you to put all the good things in the I am statements. The what do you want? Read your story of your perfect story and have that be what you fall asleep to.
Yeah. So let me just take that one step further. So as you're falling asleep, pretend that your thoughts are currency, like money.
Yeah,
And you're spending this money on something.
That's good.
So if you're spending money, you're thinking about things you do not want, and you buy all the things you do not want. And then you wake up and you wonder why I have nothing that I want, and all this stuff that I don't want is because. So
you bought it
what does he call that? That is the
That's
real
just-
definition of insanity.
of insanity.
Yeah.
You keep buying the stuff
You
you don't
don't
want,
want,
and you wonder why you're getting more of it.
because remember, you will get it.
Whatever you think, whatever you feel.
You will get it. Absolutely.
What you think and feel becomes real.
That's
Thoughts
exactly
become
right.
things.
Yep.
So hopefully those first two, so now you can kind of grade yourself on your mind now. Like, so how is my mind working? Am I doing this? Am I doing my personal growth? You know, so, you know, this might be an area where you may not, you said, well, I didn't score as well as I wanted to in this. So Cheryl and I are really, really committed to think out of all these 8 areas. So I tell everybody I have a master's degree in nutrition, but if I ever went back to college, get my PhD, it would be in psychology. Because it's not the strategy that's the problem with anyone. We can tell anybody how to fix any health problem. We know the strategy. But what's the number one reason people don't reorder longevity supplements?
They haven't opened the box.
They never opened the box.
Yeah. I want to mention one other thing that I was just thinking of. So when I did that whole first lady thing, that's not where it started. That's not where my story started. So my real first story was how can I do what I promised Dr. Wallach I would do, which was get his message out to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. That was my whole thing from 30 years ago. And so then I thought, oh, well, gosh, I've been doing it, and not everybody has heard of us yet.
Before
From what I've
social
heard.
media.
Before social media. But everyone has not heard of us, so then I thought, well, what could I do? Like, what's something bigger that I could do? So then I thought to myself, when I am the first lady of the United States, everybody will know who Young Johnny is.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's why. Yeah. That's why. So I was just wanted to tell you that because sometimes it changes, but that's okay. Because how can you get, like, this is what you want, but maybe we need a little bit of a bigger idea or a bigger thought or a bigger story
Yeah.
that you could really buy into
Yeah.
and
That's
then
good.
imagine.
That's good.
That's
Great.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily how that was gonna happen. How are we gonna reach millions of people?
No.
Is really not step one.
No.
Step one is the result that you wanted.
That's right.
Which is you have that and the feelings inside that
Yes.
it's gonna happen.
Yes.
And then crazy things happen. Like, where did you think you're gonna be first lady? I mean, that I'm sure that didn't really cross your mind.
No.
So do you think of anything crazier? I mean, it's just these kind of things happen. Now, just, if we had another 3 hours, I would tell you how actually Cheryl and I got connected. It's the craziest story in the whole world.
Yeah. And I was running. I was like, oh no. No.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's another story.
That's part of this story.
When you decided to do the coaching program?
No, coaching. No, this is something even before that.
Yeah.
This is before we met.
I didn't pick her as a outline.
No.
So,
yeah, that's a whole other thing.
yeah.
Okay, so you guys, this was so exciting and fun, and now we get to hear. Now we're gonna do one more little part of the circle, and then we're gonna go get our lunch.